Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Govinda Govinda. Jai Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Govinda Govinda. So devotees are coming together, which is good. Govinda Govinda. Just as we've joined, and on the theme of today, I was also thinking of some more slokas, because we're always thinking about the theme of the day, and what will we share with you, with the good souls. And the theme is under the holy feet of Vishnu. And I know what I want to share, but am I able to find it at short notice? Maybe when Devashis speaks, I'll be able to say a few words. Govinda Govinda. Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savarutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitangscha. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurat Vijay Namaha. Bancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All right, I'm selecting English language, but you can also select Russian, and you can select Portuguese, Brazilian, and Russian by the grace of Hari Gopal Prabhu, simultaneous translation, and Portuguese by the grace of Chaitanya Mayi Devi, giving us simultaneous translation, so that Malati Priya Devidasi and our other devotees in Brazil can understand what we are saying. So we have much responsibility to say accurately whatever we understand from our masters, and not to change anything, not to dilute anything, but to try to say as we understand. So Devashis was given us this topic of the week, this topic which is, I lost it just for a moment, under the affectionate eye, under the holy feet of Vishnu. So Devashis Prabhu, yes, Devashis has joined us. I took the liberty of beginning Devashis Prabhu with the Vandanam.
Not at all, Maharaj.
To make an auspicious beginning, and now to increase the auspiciousness of our beginning, we're going to ask Devashis Prabhu, the secretary of the London chapter, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, Devashis Prabhu, our honorable host, and who's looking after us all here, to expand or to introduce the topic he's given. Over to you.
Dhanavad Maharaj, and Dhanavad to everybody here that's joined with us this evening. And as you may know, Srila Sridhar Maharaj had a number of themes that he used to refer to often, and this is one of those, the holy feet of Vishnu above our head. And this refers, of course, to the very famous mantra from the Rig Veda, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Pada Sada Pashyanti Suryo Diviva Chakshuratatam Tad Viprasa Vipanayavo Jagravangsaha Samindate Vishnoyat Paramam Padam. And you can find numerous quotes from Srila Guru Maharaj speaking about this idea, and mainly the idea that the lotus feet of Vishnu, they're above our head like a great guardian's eye, seeing everything that we do, but not with any spirit of maliciousness, but only as a guardian's eye, a great guardian's eye, taking care of us all, looking after us all. So I chose a very short passage of Srila Sridhar Maharaj speaking about this, which I thought was very nice, and I'll read that with you all, to you all, with your permission. So this is Srila Sridhar Maharaj speaking about this. But in order to develop this kind of humility and forbearance, we must learn to see the Lord's hand in everything. And therefore the Vedas tell us, remember that the glance of the Lord is always upon us. Om tad Vishnu paramam padam, sada pasyanti surya. We are asked to see the holy feet of Narayan as we see the sun in the sky. Why the sun? The sun is described as Pradaksha, the seer, the witness. Apparently we see the sun, but really the sun helps us to see. The holy feet of Vishnu, excuse me. Sorry.
Devashis, Prabhu.
The holy feet of Vishnu means the lowest part of Vishnu. Jogaye vidyan yasya vidyate kuchit. His lower part to us is the beginning of realization for us. The beginning of realization is to think that God is always seeing us. As the sun helps us to see, Vishnu's holy feet are like the sun. So we should try to always see everything by the rays of the holy feet of Vishnu. From another point of view, his holy feet are like a big eye spread over the sky. He sees everything. Whatever we do, our guardian's vigilant eye is over our head like the sun. Before we enter into any action, we must remember this Vedic mantra. The Rig Veda is the first Veda, and this is the most important mantra of the Rig Veda. The Brahmins of the Vedic school are told that whenever they do any service pertaining to religion or varnashram, they must first remember this Rig Veda mantra. Vishnu's feet are over you, and they are looking at you like a guardian's vigilant eye. Always remembering this, do your duty. If you always remember that he is seeing everything you do, then you can't do anything wrong. You won't be able to venture to do anything offensive to the Lord, as long as you remember that through everything, the searching eye, the all-knowing, omniscient eye of the Lord is always watching over you. This remembrance cannot but purify your heart and understanding and the whole of your mental system, and help you to approach divinity in the right way. It is not that you can do anything and everything without his knowing, not that you are the master wire puller of both your own life and of the world, not that you are going to exert your mastery, your influence over the environment in a selfish attempt. Always remember that one big eye is spread over your head, seeing everything like the searching light of a strong X-ray. What even you do not know about yourself, he knows. What is underground in the innermost subconscious region of your heart, he can also see. If you remember this as you move and live, you cannot but be purified. Just as cancer can be removed from the body by a laser ray, the whole disease of material existence will vanish from our hearts by the purifying influence of the divine rays of light from the holy feet of Vishnu. So there's a very short passage, but it's very nice. The explanation that Guru Maharaj is giving, very succinct and very helpful to us. And it is the normal thing before we begin any service. This is actually my practice. Before I begin any service, if I go into the kitchen to cook for Krishna, if I go to give some class, to speak about Krishna, whatever it may be, I go to do some puja. Before I begin, I always chant this Rig Veda mantra: Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Pada Sada Pashyanti Suryo Diviva Chakshoratatam Tad Viprasa Vipanayevo Jagrivangsha Samindate Vishnoyat Paramam Padam. His eye is above me, watching me, guiding me, protecting me. So this is my contribution to our talk today. Over to you, Maharaj. I'm sure you have many things that you've got ready, lined up regarding this.
Well, we all have a guilty conscience that we hope the Lord doesn't see. And this way also, we could be alert to the fact that the Lord can see everything, and what we also are not conscious of ourselves within us, he can see. And there are many cases of this, of course, that come to light where the Lord is saying, but in your previous life, then you had such and such a desire, so this desire, this life you fulfill, and you will meet with me in the future. And I think this was to Jayadev Goswami. It's recorded in Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Navadip Dham Mahatmya book. So we must be careful what we think at any time, because even the things we forgot that we were thinking, Krishna remembers, and that we had a desire hidden inside. So Srila Guru Maharaj gave an example just now, Devashish was reading, of the X-ray. Like an X-ray can go inside and see so many things that the eye cannot see. So that X-ray of Vishnu's feet, but the feet means the lowest part of Vishnu, looking towards us. This is why sometimes we hear, why are we always hearing lotus feet, lotus feet? But from the lotus feet upwards, this is our approach to the Lord. So he is coming to see everything inside us, and this is a big lesson for us, always from Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, is sincerity. We can't fool Krishna. We must be sincere, and as much as we are sincere, we are safe. So yes, Devashish, I do have some quotes, but I'll make a quote from the Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 2. And this is also Srila Guru Maharaj in Sermons, Volume 2. Devashish Prabhu quoted from Loving Search for the Lost Servant. And here we've got another way of showing the verse and understanding that the Lord is watching us always. But obviously in a good way. So Srila Guru Maharaj saying, if we want our shelter, it must come from overhead. Ashraya, or shelter, is not under our feet. Shelter should be over the head. The principal Vedic mantra says, Tad Vishnu Paramang Padang Sada Yanti Surayaha Diviva Chakshur Atatam. And Srila Guru Maharaj is not giving a direct quote, direct translation, but he's expressing now. The holy feet of Vishnu, who is pervading everywhere, Ya idang vyapnotiti Vishnu. His feet, his lowest portion, is towards us. Paramang means very highly qualified from all standpoints. That is not to be neglected. So that's what paramang means. It means very highly qualified from all standpoints. Then Srila Guru Maharaj is saying, that is not to be neglected. From the standpoint of fine existence, knowledge as well as sweetness, the absolute is paramang padam. Then, sada pashyanti surayaha. The scholars are always conscious of the fact. This is the real basis of their life. Then Srila Guru Maharaj saying, I'm just going to increase the size a little bit. Man is not an animal wandering over the earth, mountain, or jungle, but the real man is in his consciousness, and he is always conscious of a higher entity. He is always seeing or conscious of that ideal. Diviva chakshu atatam. Then Guru Maharaj, like as a question, vaguely or in a mystic way? No. As conspicuous, as clear, and as real as the sun we see in the sky. Tad Vishnu paramang padam. So we should really live and move in that consciousness, where we are children of that conscious world. And then we can't resist but to read the next short paragraph. Tvam tu rajang marishyeti pashu buddhing imang jahi. I mean, sorry about our pronunciation of Sanskrit, but we try. From the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Guru Maharaj is saying, at the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Shukadev Goswami gives a warning to Parikshit Maharaj to be conscious of the firm basis of his teachings. Deception is like a serpent that stealthily comes to bite and kill. Ignorance comes stealthily and takes the soul down to the world of animal consciousness. And we are all moving under the deception of this heavy flesh and blood. Therefore, heavier than earth is necessary to lift us above, up onto its lap. And that coming to the personality of Godhead Vishnu. Hare Krishna. And then Srila Guru Maharaj comes on to explain in his words that Shukadev Goswami is coming to say, kill this animal consciousness. Hare Krishna. And so how to always follow this principle that the lotus feet, the eye of the Lord, the lotus feet of the Lord, they're always watching over us. They're always seeing everything inside. So as he is seeing us, we must be conscious of this. We are trying to wake up our consciousness of the Lord. And as Guru Maharaj pointing out here, very highly qualified from all standpoints is the meaning of paramam. And so Guru Maharaj is saying, very highly qualified in sweetness as well. It's not only knowledge and qualified for creation and many things, protection or whatever it may be, but Guru Maharaj always coming to give us this focus that sweetness is what we are all after. And we have a very powerful master who is our friend, and our friend, to have a friend who is so powerful and who is so affectionate, so full of sweetness, so full of caring for us, is a very good friend to have. So we are very fortunate that the Lord actually can see everything inside and outside of us. And when we come to see the focus, also another focus of Guru Maharaj's teachings, to adjust to the environment, knowing that the environment is perfect. There we come to understand the Lord can see everything about us, and He is our well-wisher. So our life and activities, circumstances that come in our life, gross and subtle, they're coming as a personal tutorial. We have our own personal tutor, our personal tutorial to make us suitable to come home, to come back to the Lord. So anyway, many things. The Lord's holy feet are like the vigilant eye of a grand guardian, hanging over our heads like the sun. And we are living beneath the glance of that vigilant eye. But that vigilant eye is full of affection and full of compassion to the fallen souls, especially when that eye is Gauranga, and especially when that eye is Nitai and Gauranga, the eyes of the most merciful aspects of the Lord. Hare Krishna. The vigilant guardian's eye is always watching me. I am living under the glance of that eye. Hare Krishna. Yes, and by the way, I'll just take this opportunity while I have the camera, etc. Just to, I know Devashish was very humble, he won't want to show, but I've got secret information from London. Here's Devashish Prabhu, and you see, he's being very honorable, he's being honored by the mayor of I'm not sure the name of the council, but the local council in London, in recognition of this service. They are saying service to the community, but of course this is really service to the community to come as a way to introduce Krishna consciousness. And here's Devashish giving honor to the mayor, and the mayor and the officials came to the temple, and they are giving honor to Devashish Prabhu and to Mahaprabhu, Gauranga Sundar, and Giriraj here. So, and look, I saw this picture. Look how many devotees came. And there's Devashish Prabhu with the mayor in the center, the good children in the front. The naughty children are hiding somewhere else. So we can say the good children in the front, and so many devotees. So they had a mini festival in London and got some honor. And with that, whatever a great person does, other men follow. And so, of course, the mayor is one of those influential persons. And this is the same picture again, or maybe slightly different. Not sure. Oh, and there's, just so you know, there's the mayor at our ashram, our temple, Bhakti Yoga Institute. So the London temples bringing Krishna consciousness to the not only London devotees, but everywhere. And he's well garlanded, Devashish Prabhu. Very, very presentable.
Yes, Mahaprabhu's garland.
Mahaprabhu's garland. So do I have to be like Bhakti Saranga Goswami Maharaj and start to guess? How is it he's wearing two garlands and you are not wearing a garland? I think you were garlanded and you've given your garland.
No, Maharaj, he's only wearing one. The other are the chains of his office.
Oh, he's wearing one. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I'd take that opportunity to share this. And the feet of Lord Vishnu, they are above everyone's head and they're seeing the service going on. And so we're just sharing that. And now click into the other view. And Kum Kum Devi dasi is with us. Looking through, and many devotees. We've got 2 pages of devotees. And Saraswati Devi is with us, but she sent me a line saying she's painting her house green, which makes me wonder what kind of green. She's painting her house just now. So she said, I'm listening, but I won't be able to contribute. And the West London, so let us come first. Kum Kum Devi, you always got something up your sleeve. We always want to hear from you. And I'm just looking to see in West London, some devotees on the screen. It's so small, I can't make it bigger. So maybe we'll come to West London soon. But Kum Kum Devi, please, if you kindly take the microphone, and we're looking forward to hearing some news of Vishnu, his feet and his eye.
My Dandavat Maharaj, Devashish Prabhu, and all of the Vaishnavas here. And I only have the tiniest contribution because it's been so perfectly explained by you both. And it's very true that we have full hope when we hear about who our guardian actually is and the nature of that guardian. And we can compare to as Guru Maharaj is always saying, we are part of the conscious world. And so there is our origin. We are consciousness, not part of this animal world and where birth and death are always taking place. And it reminds me a bit of the way we're all raised when it comes to justice. In whatever country we happen to have taken birth in, there'll be what is considered the origin of what is law, what we have to do to be what is called law abiding. And we know that, we are taught that because of sometimes in this country they call it the founding fathers, and they made this very clear. So anybody who wants to be law abiding wouldn't challenge that. But at the same time, you can't have faith there. You can't have the hope for mercy, particularly. It's all based on justice. Very rarely do we see any aspect of mercy, and we definitely don't want for whoever is in charge of all of this to know our very thought, or would we accept them as our tutor, because we know how very guilty we are. But when we hear from Sri Guru and the Vaishnavas, then that changes everything. So our origin is elsewhere, and all we will get is mercy. And that guardian is always looking on us and seeing what is in our best interest. So whatever will come, we can feel completely assured that we're moving into the land of wakefulness, and to know who we actually are. And this gives us not only freedom from the worry about what if somebody finds out how bad I am, how many laws I've broken. It gives us freedom from that, but also more than that even, it opens us up to reality, which is beautiful and full of charm. So we can leave all of these other worries behind. And not only is it very good instruction, but also we feel so much pride and happiness when we see the glories of the Vaishnavas and how they are going forward and doing such service, even in the land of those who are in judicial positions. And especially to see how they also are very impressed and touched. You can see that their hearts are touched. This makes us so pleased. That's all I can really add, Maharaj.
It's very substantial, and also another take on this understanding. And another thing came to my mind too about justice. You mentioned that even in the, you can say, the mundane plane, because we're living within the, the mundane universe, then we get the understanding from Srimad Bhagavatam that when a person leaves their body in regular way, regular person leaves their body, they're taken to the court of Yamaraj, where their life is listed out, is read out. And there is explained that, and actually Srila Prabhupada in the purport, one of those purports there explains, and in that state, you cannot go and buy an expensive lawyer to get yourself out of the situation. They know what it is all recorded there, your whole life. And so you may object and may say this, that, and the other. However, that will have no value. It's all been seen. So even within the material world, those who have that duty for meting out the karma, action and reaction, they can see also everything that is going on. And also in another place is mentioning about how then somebody is doing sinful activity, but thinking that no one can see, unaware that the devas, they see everything and everything is being recorded. And in this way, is it Chitragupta, the scribe of Yamaraj, he's got this record along with his associates. He's got a whole office up there of scribes with their pen and paper. So they can see everything on a certain level too. And we know, and we try to be always conscious that Guru can see everything. We are under Guru's eye. And we hope that we'll be able to be conscious so that we do everything which will be pleasing to Guru, pleasing to the Vaishnavas. And yes, we give all respects to the Devas, but that may becomes in the fear of God category when we become a little aware of the Devas. Seeing everything we do, there's nothing private in our lives. But the opposite of fear of God, the side where hopefully a little bit of good is within each of us and with each of you, certainly. And this was Gurudev. Gurudev could see in this way within the heart of everyone. And those small embers, here we have a fire, winter came back, so we have had fire some evening, their fireplace. And in the morning, when you look inside, there's some little red embers there. And then if you add some kindling and fan the ember, again, fire comes up, even though hardly visible. So we have also, we want to feel and want to know that our Guru can see inside of us, that Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, all of them, they are watching, big Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, all the way through to the Lord himself. And we can say, mercifully, especially as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, that they do see inside of us and that they may see that little spark of sincerity which is there and may give us nourishment for the positive and may give us protection also against the negative. So it's not only that Lord Vishnu and Krishna sees everything, but we, on a good day, have hope that so many do see us. Hare Krishna. Devashifu, I see we do have Shyama Malini with us. She's nearby, living nearby there in East London.
Yes.
May we invite her to share anything? I don't know if we don't want to put you on the spot.
Well, you can ask her. She's very modest lady.
She is, and she's also an experienced, practical lady. Shyama Malini Devi, would you like to share something on the subject? We'd be happy to hear from you, or on any subject if you wish.
Yes.
Encouragement.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hari Bol, everybody, all these devotees. Very interesting, Maharaj. Yeah. The thing about when you said, what's his name? When Yamraj, yeah, sorry, he can see everything as well. So is it that when because not everyone is people who died, not everybody is bad, so even good people go to that planet, I suppose, where Yamraj is, and do they get it's just, I don't know, do they get punished for anything that they done, anything bad? I've heard that good people also go there, not only bad people.
Oh, indeed. We understand, I mean, the understanding given in Bhagavatam, as we understand from Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, is that in the world of karma, then our karma, our plus and our minus, etc., will be kind of calculated, overseen after death, when our soul is taken to that place. And so, yes, and the good people, they will get the result of their good activities. But Srila Gurudev told that, because he was asked, on several occasions, when people passed away, relatives or devotees or just people pass away, like, where will they be now, Gurudev? And Gurudev, his general answer and his most common answer was, we don't know necessarily where they have gone and which of their activities will come, the reactions to their activities will come to take their demand first. When there's some good and some bad, are they going to get the good result first, or are they going to have to take the reaction for the pain they've caused others? If you cause pain to others, pain will come to you, etc. So, if they've caused pain to others in some way, then that pain is due to come back. And if they've helped relieve pain in others and give joy to others, that joy will come back. So Gurudev would say that, in general, that we don't know what will come first to take its demand. But the point is that in the karma world, everything is mixed with fault. If it is not centered on Krishna, if it's not for the satisfaction of the Lord, and in particular for his devotees, because this is the world where we live in, where we can directly relate with devotees without imagination. But really, we hear about the Lord, and we hear about the Lord from the devotees. But for us to really please the Lord and get reciprocation from him directly is largely within a plane of imagination in one sense, because unless we've really had a touch of the Lord, in which case we will know it, and probably others will know it too, because we'll see that those who really had a touch of the Lord, they will have no interest in any of the glamour of this world anymore. And they will be just head over heels for Krishna consciousness, as we see in Rupa Sanatana and so many of Mahaprabhu's Parshads, associates. So anything so-called good or so-called bad, which isn't for the satisfaction of the Vaishnava, Guru, of the Lord himself, then it is all within the gunas, the material world. And a little bit of a clear example for us, given to us by Guru Maharaj, that like perfect goodness and perfect sinfulness in this world, doing bad things, medium things, good things, it is all faulty. And he gave an example like stool, poop, whatever you want to say, the excretion, stool. When you go to the bathroom, then wet stool and dry stool. Dry stool is better than wet stool, but it's all stool. So this way, the mundane material plane is all gradation of something which we don't want. We want the positive thing, the nourishing world. And the nourishing world is the land of dedication. But that example was so that even in that I mentioned was even in the mundane sphere, there are so many who can see our thoughts, who see our activities. So what to speak of the Supreme Lord, when his delegated agents can see us? He can see, because he's Paramatma also. He's right there in our heart, and it's told like two birds in a tree. One bird is eating fruits and doing this, that, and the other bird is looking at him and watching everything and waiting for the time when this bird will actually start looking at the Paramatma and say, you're the Paramatma right here with me. What should I be doing? How should I change my life? How can I come into the harmonious flow, harmonious upward flow? So we don't want to get too caught up with the good and bad of this world.
Okay.
It was more as an example that our actions are seen not only by the Lord, but by others.
Yes.
Maharaj?
Thank you, Maharaj. Yes. So yeah.
Maharaj, I can say a little bit about this as well. Something very beautiful from, which I'm sure you've heard from Gita Mahatmya, that there's a story told in there that there was one thief or robber, and he's being pursued by the police, and he's running to escape the police, and as he's comes round the corner, he sees a group of sadhus sitting together, and they're discussing Bhagavad Gita. So he dives in and pretends to be one of the sadhus. Maybe takes one of their blanket or something, puts it over his head, and joins the group there. To avoid being caught by the police. And the police go on by, and for 5 minutes he waits there while they're discussing Bhagavad Gita, all these things. And when he sees the coast is clear, he escapes. And it's told there that this person, he's thoroughly bad. I mean, never did anything good in his entire life. And so at the time of his death, he's taken before Jamaraj, and Chitragupta gets out his book to see look at all the offenses that he has to answer for. And he's like, look, wow, this guy's going to be on the bottom of the ocean for a long time, like, oh, boy, I can't see what kind of future is for him. Oh, but I see here that at one point you heard 5 minutes of Bhagavad Gita. Did I? Yes, when you were escaping. Oh, yeah, if you say so, he says, so you can choose. You can suffer all of the reactions from your terrible life, or you can go and hear another 5 minutes of Bhagavad Gita. And so the man says, oh, wow, anything's better than, going to hell. So I'll take the other 5 minutes. That'll be lovely. Thank you. So suddenly he finds himself again in an assembly of devotees, and they're speaking about Bhagavad Gita, and he's sits there, 5 minutes, little respite. 5 minutes is up. Suddenly he's back in the court of Jamaraj, and Jamaraj says, okay, so off to hell with you. Oh, here I see that you listened to Bhagavad Gita for 10 minutes. The first 5 minutes and another 5 minutes. You can have another 10 minutes listening to Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, okay. So this way, it went 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes. And he kept choosing to go and hear from Bhagavad Gita. And of course, he became purified. His heart became purified. He became a devotee of the Lord. And this way, just by that, or you can say chance, 5 minutes of hearing Bhagavad Gita, he never had to go to hell. So this is a very encouraging for us. That means we should try to tell everyone as much as possible about Krishna, to save them from hell, and ourselves also.
And by the way, to everybody, this is why we love to get Devashis Prabhu started, because he's a champion storyteller. And just 3 days ago, maybe, I heard a full talk, because there are so many things on, available to us. I heard one of Devashis Prabhu's talks in 2018 at the Govinda Mela. And I was thinking, here's our storyteller to get everybody, into practical Krishna consciousness. And so now we have him live, not even recorded. And recorded, we get inspiration. So what to speak of live? Devashis Prabhu, much appreciated. Whenever you come up with a story comes to your mind, please press the button.
Okay. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. And I saw Ananda Swarupini Devi Dasi, but I'm not sure now. She's here from London or from England. If you like to share something, yes, Ananda Swarupini. If you're not studying too hard, not using us as a background sound. Microphone.
Dandavat Maharaj, everybody. I don't have anything of value to share. I'm just very inspired by the stories I'm hearing. Nothing really. Sorry, I just. Well, I mean, I've been lucky lately because I've been in London more because I had a slight injury on my arm, so I've had to remain here, being looked after by my family, so I could come to the temple more. So I'm happy about that. Makes a big difference being around the devotees and doing some attempted seva, and that's it really for my sharing. I'm just very grateful to have had the opportunity to have been, around the devotees, and always grateful for that. Really, I was just pondering on Devashish Prabhu's last story, which I've heard him tell many times, but it's a very good story. And all the stories that everybody said, I just really like to reflect on all of them, later. And it's incredibly encouraging. Incredibly encouraging, yeah. Maybe I have a question. I can't formulate it now. I'll think about it and I'll come back another time with a question. Yeah.
Okay, sure. But happy to see you there.
Yeah.
And you're getting the association of Braja Bihari Prabhu and Dwarakesh Prabhu. And we have Braja Bihari Prabhu's association very regularly. He sends obeisances and he's sitting in the Italy temple room in the morning for the morning reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita quite often via Facebook or Instagram, one of those. So we also
do you mean Madhu Mangal, Prabhu?
Yeah. We don't see Braja, we see Madhu.
Oh, right. Madhu Mangal's in the temple, but Braja Bihari does join us. But he's living outside, isn't he? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, excuse me, right. So Madhu Mangal Prabhu also, yes. Okay, good.
Yeah, and Devashish, Ishanuga as well.
Jai.
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful deities. When we are there, we also thinking the most beautiful deities in the world. Hare Krishna. Yes, dear devotees, anyone have a question or something on this line or a story that you know or that you know Devashish Prabhu knows and can ask him to tell? Hare Krishna. Oh, by the way, next week, if it is the will of Krishna, we'll be there in London for the London Zoom with Abhinavasundar Prabhu and Kelly Kadamba. So man proposes, God disposes, and by the kindness of the devotees, we're coming to London and look forward to being with you all in person, and as well as with you all who will be in person in Zoom in the temple rooms of the temple. Oh yes, of London. So who's in the temple room now? I honestly can't see the West London who's there. But if someone would like to say a word or two, oh, Lavanya Mayi is there. Microphone, click. Okay, got it.
That's Maharaj. Well, it's sort of like more doers and speakers. You're also eloquent. And none of us here feel very eloquent. But Suvatani's on the Zoom somewhere. She's very eloquent.
And Subhasini is about to go to India too. She's preparing for Indian journey very soon.
I mean, maybe if we'd had no, we could prepare next time something to say, but just off the top of my head, I don't have, there's nothing much in my head, you know. But,
Okay. You can keep it in your diary.
that's-
Every Monday evening, we have a London Zoom. And by the way, we like to prepare and get very like distracted when we prepare, because like this part that I read just before, and then we must kill this animal consciousness. I mean, that part, we start going well off the original track and then go into all sorts of things. And some of the things that we read, it's feels like, oh, we haven't read it before. We know we've read it before, and it's all kind of familiar, but it's just so new when we come to research. So when we come to do a little homework in preparation, then it is actually a joyful thing to do. And even if we miss the point, we still get lots of other things that help keep us going, and we need to be kept going. Oh, by the way, there's 5 chats in the chat box. Maybe there's some question for Lavanya Mayi. Dandavats and Dandavats. Jai Gurudev Dandavats is from Krishna Keshava Prabhu, from Ramananda Prabhu, Jai Gauranga Prabhu. It's the mayor of Hounslow. Okay, so the mayor of Hounslow. And looking very, very mayorish.
He was very nice gentleman, very nice.
And-
Chilled, relaxed, you know.
He was a Muslim Maharaj.
And he came to see the Prasadam you know, because we got a certificate from the Hounslow Borough of the Prasadam distribution project. So then when Saraswati and Pandita went to receive that, then they invited him to the temple. And he wasn't going to come because he's just mayor for another week or so. But one of our volunteers is the old mayor, and he's friends with that mayor, and his dad is one of the councillors. So they really pulled him in, because it's nice also for the volunteers. You know, they see the mayor and their photo taken with the mayor, and you know, he
Yes.
said he'd help us with some funding, by applications for some funding, and also that he's a lawyer for immigration and family matters. He's happy to help with that, as you know, free of charge like that. So it was just a good, you know, PR and networking, you know, with him, that he came, you know, and he got
Also-
Shaman, and he got Darshan, he got Garland, and things like that. So Devashisha gave him the Bhagavad Gita, and so that was all it's very pleasant.
And very good for public relations. And it's reminding me, when Srila Gurudev came back from his first world tour, then he said that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would have made much out of that tour. He would have made much publicity. So it wasn't like Gurudev promoting himself, but the promotion of Krishna consciousness. And when you've got a picture like this picture that I got still right here, and are you in the picture? You're always hiding somewhere.
I was taking a picture. I was taking a picture, yes.
You were taking the picture. There you
Oh,
are.
that
You were doing. There we are. But when you have a picture like that with the mayor,
Yeah.
you can have all sorts of, it's all sorts of this way. The Srila Saraswati Thakur saying, taking that opportunity for the promotion and showing, look, here we are doing wonderful things. So it is very good to get some official recognition in this way. Govinda, Govinda. Only thing missing is a nice big garland on Devashish Prabhu too. But I'll go along with the fact he had a garland and he gave it to the man. All right. And Krishna Keshava Prabhu is in Chicago. He put a little message. Dandavats from Chicago. Yes, Prabhu, wonderful.
Maharaj, Devashish Prabhu gave a nice class afterwards, and he was garlanded. So he did receive a garland as well.
Okay, very good. And what color green are you making your house? Light green or dark green? I was thinking of Calcutta green that they, you know how I don't know how they design, invent such an ugly green, but I hope it's not to remind us of Calcutta. We'll find out. Okay, we'll see what shade green it is. Hare Krishna.
Spring green, Maharaj.
Ah, spring green. Perfect. Of seasons, I am flower-bearing spring. And by the way, here in Italy, the green has come very suddenly, means from the trees, from being very bare trees to being very green trees. The forest looking fully green and beautiful green, this kind of fresh green. So yes, spring green is a very good color. All right, so Devashish, over to you, and we don't have an immediate request from anybody, and we can continue and just, from my side, just say, let us all sincerely continue. The real essence of knowing that the Lord's eye is over our head, that his gracious glance is there, is he wants our sincerity, he wants our chastity for our devotional life, that we take it seriously. So he can see everything. Let us each be as serious as possible. This is my kind of word for today in this regard.
Hi, Maharaj, yes. Very good advice. Guru Maharaj would say that. We must take our spiritual life seriously. Sometimes he would say, do you think it's a fun?
Yeah.
In other words, do you think it's some kind of game? No. Do you think it's a fun? No, it's the most serious thing. There's so many things we take very seriously in the world, but not less than that. We should take our spiritual life most seriously, because other than that, there's nothing for us to do in this world. There's no prospect for us here in this world. The only prospect is with Krishna and Krishna's devotees. So we should try to understand that and take that seriously. Then at least we're, whatever happens, we're trying for that channel, and that should be our real purpose in life. Whatever else secondary things may be going on, they are that secondary things, and we shouldn't forget that in any circumstance. So we're very nice to speak with everybody tonight, meet with everybody, and we're looking forward very much to meeting Maharaj in person in just a few days, and that should be a very nice time. Maharaj will be with us for like 10 days or so, and then and if you're in the UK, come and meet him, and if you're not in the UK, come to the UK and come and meet him. All right, so Jai Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. All the assembled devotees ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Harinam Shankirtan ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha. Kripa Sindhu Bevacha. Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Dandavat to Devashish Prabhu and Devashish Prabhu ki Jai. And a special mention we must always give to our simultaneous translators, Chaitanya Mayi Devi Dasi and to Hari Gopal Prabhu. It is definitely a full energy job, and we appreciate that they do this to share with more and more devotees.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Dandavat, dear devotees. Have a good week. See you soon.
Dandavat.
Govinda Govinda.